In this section review, we're going to work on 1 through 3 together, and then you're going to try 4 through 6 on your own. And we're going to be talking about conditional probability in this extra review. So we look at number 1. So the probability of A is 0.75. The probability of B is 0.65. And the probability of A and B is 0.45. Find the probability of A given B. So whenever you have this line, straight up and down line, that means given. So that's not a fraction. You're not taking the probability of A and dividing it by the probability of B. When you have that straight up and down line, there's a special formula you use. And that formula is the probability of both over the probability of the second. So kind of what's in the bottom. So the probability of B every single time. Probability of both divided by the probability of the second whenever you have that straight up and down line. And then you just plug in the right value. So the probability of both is 0.45 and the probability of B is 0.65. And again, you just divide that in your calculator. 0.45 divided by 0.65, and that gives you 0.69. Follow that formula every single time when you have that straight up and down line. That means given. If we look at number 2, that's more a word problem. It says Andrea is a very good student. The probability that she studies and passes her mathematics test is 0.85. If the probability that Andrea studies is 0.94, find the probability that Andrea passes her mathematics test given that she has studied. Okay? That is that straight up and down line in English. So it's given means that in a word problem. So whenever you have that phrase given, you're doing what we did in number 1. Okay? So when we write that out, the probability before the word given, the thing, was passes. Trying to see the probability that she passes her math test given she studied. So what comes before given goes before the line. What comes after given goes next after the line. Well, we're going to follow that same formula we did in number 1. We're going to find the probability of both. She passes given she studied, divided by the probability of the second thing. She studied. And then you just throw those values into the right spot. So the, this is the end. Not the slash. That should be and. So the probability that she did both, passed and studied, they said, and that's this first statement, studies and passes is 0.85. That's going to go on the top. And the probability that she just studied is right here, 0.94. And then you just plug it into your calculator. So you do 0.85 divided by 0.94, that gives you 0.9. So that means if she studies, she has a 90% chance of passing her math test. Again, just follow that formula whenever you see an upside down line, or straight up and down line, or you have the word given in a word problem. We take a look at 3, we're going to use our table. You want to find the probability that you have blue eyes given you have blonde hair. And it's nice, the table's in decimals, so the probabilities are already written out. You just have to follow that formula. Okay? Probability of blue given blonde over the probability of blonde. Probability of both over the probability of the second. Well, if we look at the table, here's blue, here's blonde, that's where they intersect. So 0.20 is going to go on the top. And the probability of just blonde. You go to blonde, go to its total, that's going to be 0.25. Plug that into your calculator. you get 0.57. So there's a 57% chance that if a person has blonde hair, they're going to have blue eyes. And then the same kind of concept for B. We have that straight up and down line, so we just follow that formula. Probability of both divided by probability of the second. Go to your table. Here's green. Here's black. It intersects at 0.05, so that's going to go on the top. And the probability of the bottom, so just go all the way down to the total for black, and that's 0.45. Divide those in your calculator, and you get 0.11. So that means there's an 11% chance that you have black hair. You're also going to have green eyes. Again, go ahead and try 4, 5, and 6 on your own. And again, remember, check your answers with your teeth.